Welcome to Robotic Idiotic. Today I'm giving you a noob's perspective of computer-aided design software. Think of it as an adventure into CAD, or as I'm going to call it, a CADventure. It's alright, I write my own jokes. I don't get anyone else to do it for me. I'm going to be a dad soon, can't you tell? We're going to split this up into 5 episodes, but first I'm going to introduce it. I'm going to design this. This is what you're going to see. And actually, I am recreating this. This is the original cardboard design of the robot. That's 30 by 30. It's a bit rough around the edges now because it's so old. I've been trying to record this project for quite a while now, but that is the general gist of it. We are going to represent it as a 3D computer-aided design. So this is going to be a first for me, and I'm going to take you along for the ride. Could be interesting, it could be a massive failure. That's a running theme with me, isn't it? Failure. Let's cue the crazy music and get straight into it. This is my CAD software. No, it's not. I'm not using this. I can actually pre-design what I want to be making. Basically, you start off with your common or garden rectangle, and you add in a triangle. You see, what I'm actually making here is houses. See, there's a front edge there, and I want to get rid of. Right, so that is basically the design looking from the top. This is the top panel, where actually it'll be a bit more easy to visualize. That will be your flipper arm, another wedge on the front of here, something like that. That's basically the initial top-down plan. From the side, we will be looking at the same box section here. That's grey. Nice, because grey is the colour of metal, and metal is what I'll be using. Big tapers down as a front wedge there, and there is your flipper arm. In here, we'll mount a servo, and there's your wheels. I get that this is very, very crude. There you go, that is your basic shape of what I'm trying to achieve. So this is a bit more like it. This is CAD software. This is Autodesk Fusion 360. I'm still a complete noob at this. But then again, it shows that if I can do it, certainly anybody else can. I haven't really had much experience with CAD software. I touched upon it a little bit whilst I was in school, and I hated it. I hated that it wasn't very user-friendly, and opted to stick to drawing isometrically on paper. However, this is a bit more, I wouldn't say basic, it's just the workflow is a bit easier to come to grips with. Because I'm basically building an odd shape, I need to make sure my dimensions are correct and accurate, and then everything else kind of snaps into place. You've got to build it in multiple different parts if you're going to build it as a large model. I have to make 3 different components, and to do this I right click, new component, there we go. I can double click that, and I can call that chassis. I make another one, call that the outer shell, and the third one I need to make will be called the flipper. Notice the correct spelling on the word flipper. So I've got one for the chassis, one for the outer shell, and one for the weapon. I'm not going to add in bits and pieces like motors, wheels, or maybe not just yet. I know that they fit because I've mocked it up in the cardboard. I need to start a sketch. Sketches form your basic outlines for whatever you want to make. So press S and type in what you need. I need a rectangle. Center point rectangle is normally quite good because it chooses a point in the middle and then it expands outwards. Once I've chosen the shape, I need to choose a plane. So I actually want the ground plane. This one here, and it goes to what is called in the business a normal to view. See, all this YouTube education has actually helped me somewhat. Makes it look like I know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing. This is all brand new to me. I could start drawing now and it will draw a square for me, but I don't really want to do that because the chassis isn't exactly straight square. I need to select this construction line, which will actually give me a basic guideline of what I want to draw before I draw it, and then I can use that as an actual sketch. I want to choose the origin point, and our robot, because we decided 30 centimeters squared was bit too big and 20 centimeters squared might be a bit too small, go half and we go 25 centimeters by 25 centimeters, which is 250 mil. Press enter and there we go, we have a square. So far this has been a bit slower than the paint thing that I was doing. Our next construction line that we have to make is actually a triangle. The front is tapered off, so we need to taper it towards to make a predefined front. We get this sketch and we need a polygon, and we use edge polygon, and we're going to use this red line, which is the center point, because we made a center point square on the center point, and we drag it this way, and you see here it actually says 6. That's 6 points. It's making a hexagonal shape. We don't want that, we want a 3-pointed shape, which is of course a triangle. Press enter and now we have a triangle, and these angles are perfectly lined up. I don't have to freeform it, it does it all by itself. And this shape here, this almost irregular pentagon shape, that's not pentagon, that's a hexagon. You can tell I failed maths. This irregular pentagonal, I did it again! This irregular hexagonal shape is the shape that we want molded out. To do that, we now go to we need to do another sketch, I believe, and we can use a line, and that is the line button there, but I can press L. And then we just basically need to trace around the shape that we're going to be using. See, it's very straightforward. This point to this point, and this point to this. God, I can imagine this is actually quite dull to watch, especially people who know what they're actually doing in this. There we go, and now it's gone orange, and that is the shape we want. Turn it around, press home, and we have our front and our back, and then the tapered front edge. So this shape here is the shape we need. These are just construction lines. That's just there to make sure everything is lined up nice and neatly. And there we go, that is episode 1. Didn't he do well? Now it's time to watch the second episode, where we upscale it from a 1D image into a 3D image. That's not right, is it? So join me on the next episode, where we take the 2D images and turn them into 3D models. Gets even more interesting, I think.